you ever read a statute before? That shit is boring. Hi there, my name's Leja. I'm a real-life lawyer on a mission to demystify the law and how it affects your everyday life. Today, the reaction video that nobody asked for to the sequel that nobody asked for. Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde. Now, I've watched this movie before a very long time ago and I have no recollection of it, but the premise sounds bad. Elle Woods heads to Washington, D.C. and joins a congressional staff in order to pass a bill that bans animal testing. Like, objectively, that is bad. That sounds bad. Let's do it. If I remember correctly, there's some pretty iconic lines in this film. As a blonde lawyer, I am the foremost expert on the Legally Blonde franchise, so it's my duty to the people to react to this film. First, I'd like to offer the following disclaimer, and that is that I am a lawyer, but I am not your lawyer. Nothing that I say should be construed as legal advice, and you should always seek the advice of a licensed attorney before making any legal decisions. Strap in. Okay, I will note that this film came out in 2003, so I'm hoping for some equally amazing fashions as the first movie.
Oh my god, Margot, Serena, I cannot believe you guys flew all the way here. Oh, no biggie. On the contrary, it's a huge biggie. Thank you. You guys are the best.
Hey, speaking of biggies, can we see your ring again?
This one?
Why is the acting so bad? Like, why is it measurably worse than the first one? It's still Reese Witherspoon. She's not that bad. Is it the writing? Like, am I being confused by the writing?
You are never gonna believe my news.
What?
Fenway Park! You made 2 rings and 1 recently ordained umpire right on the entry field. We're getting married at Fenway.
Are you serious?
No professor would just answer his cell phone in front of the class in the middle of class and then, like, talk casually to someone for a while. It is, however, true that people in Boston are freaks about Fenway. That's accurate.
Hi, Mr. Blank.
The client is thrilled.
Oh, good.
How you seamlessly negotiated that deal, well, it was simply magnifique.
Well, thank you.
Big staff meeting today, kiddo.
All right, I got my fingers crossed.
Okay, so let me get the timeline straight. So, Legally Blonde, the first one, came out in 2001. She was graduating from law school. The end of the movie says that Emmett is proposing to her tonight. So, she's planning her wedding in this movie, which, based on traditional timelines for weddings, means that we're within the first year, maybe 2 years of her legal career. At a big law firm, she's not gonna be closing deals. Not accurate.
Bruiser, your mother lives at the top secret Versace think tank. I told you they had one.
No, ma'am. Unless you have a pass, you cannot go up there.
Oh, lucky I always keep it on me. Hold on, it's right here. Here you go.
You got the wrong Versace, lady.
So that's funny. So they use the Versace name, which you might wonder, that's like their trademark, isn't that bad? You can use someone's trademark as long as there's no consumer confusion about whether or not the owner of that trademark endorses what you're doing, especially in artistic things. If you can call Legally Blonde 2, Red, White, and Blonde an artistic expression, it's protected under the First Amendment for you to use a trademark as long as it is a creative expression and not suggesting that the company endorses your artistic thing, for example.
Miss Woods, this is a law firm, not an animal rights advocacy group.
We're lawyers. We have to fight for justice. And this is definitely unjust.
What we fight for is our clients and their best interests.
Yes, but isn't doing the right thing in everybody's best interest?
I think you're confusing the right thing and the law. You didn't think they were the same, did you?
I know that's supposed to be a parody, but that's literally true. Just because it's the law doesn't mean it's right. Watch pretty much any of my videos to learn that.
Holy crap!
It's gorgeous.
What is that tiara? I guess I've heard of wedding tiaras, but that's out of control.
I just got a call from the Delta New 24-hour housing hotline. Your apartment's all set.
Great. Ow!
Oh, those glasses, my God.
Oh my God. You look like the 4th of July. It makes me want a hot dog real bad.
I do remember that being an iconic line.
Time to legislate.
Do you think that's how AOC wakes up every morning?
Now back her up, people. Elle, this is the most collaborative bunch on the Hill, so gather them together, talk strategy as soon as you get settled in. And Elle,
Yes.
welcome to Washington.
Let's talk about congressional aides. Congressional aides are people who work for representatives in Congress, and they assist the congressperson in a number of tasks, including just running the office, keeping them informed on issues, keeping them up to date on the goings on in Congress and doing legal research and sometimes writing legislation. Sometimes there are legislative aides who are hired because of their specific expertise in an area. I don't know if we could call Elle a specific expert on animal rights when she's not really seemed to have done anything in the realm of animal rights before, but also, as far as I know, to get to a level where you're actually drafting legislation, usually you have to have a bit more experience than 2 weeks on the job during your first or second year of your legal practice.
And we'll find harmony and love in the snap cup. Okay, don't tell me you don't know what a snap cup is. Grace always has the confidence to speak her mind. Plus, she looks terrific in charcoal. And voila, snaps for Grace.
Oh man, I don't know if I can get through this. Okay, but I do also remember snaps for Grace being a really huge line. I definitely remember being a very annoying teenager, being like, snaps for Grace. Maybe this movie had more clout than I remember. That's bad.
Good morning. This is just like on C-SPAN, except I'm not bored.
You're in the wrong room, sweetheart. Intern orientation's in room...
216? Yes, I've heard. Thank you.
It is true people do tend to assume women and people of color who are in legal settings are either interns, assistants, or janitorial staff. And by people, I mean white men.
My short-haired chihuahua, Bruiser, brought me face-to-face with the animal testing issue.
You're out of order, Ms. Woods. This is a fuel efficiency hearing. I don't see anything in the agenda about animal testing. Will you yield the floor?
Let's talk about how bills are passed.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill.
So maybe you've already seen the Schoolhouse Rock cartoon, but in case you need a refresher, so first a bill has to get written. Then a representative sponsors the bill. The bill is then assigned to a committee that has a particular specialty in whatever the subject matter of the bill is to be reviewed. The committee holds hearings and listens to a number of different experts in various fields in order to determine all of the players in the bill and all of the background aspects of the bill that someone would need to know in order to endorse it or say that they want it to be passed. And in order to effectively write a bill, you need to understand the underlying issues so that you can make sure that the bill is encompassing all of the issues that you're trying to target. There are also subcommittees within the committee, so even more specialized, smaller groups will deliberate over bills, send it to the committee, and then ultimately the committee will determine whether or not it'll go to the floor of either the Senate or the House of Representatives. In this case, it's the House of Representatives. If the bill passes by a simple majority, that's 218 out of the 435 reps, then the bill moves on to the Senate. In the Senate, the bill is assigned to another committee who does the same process. Once the committee submits the bill to the floor of the Senate, it has to be passed by a simple majority, 51 of the 100 senators. And then finally, a conference committee of Senate and House members gets together. They look over both bills, settle out any discrepancies, make a final version of the bill. Then it goes back to the House and the Senate for final approval. Once it's approved, the president has 10 days to sign it into law. So that's the lifespan of a bill. Most bills die in committee. The Energy and Commerce Committee, like you see here, is a real committee. It has the widest jurisdiction of a House of Representative committee, meaning that it hears a ton of different things, so it has a number of subcommittees. The topics that this committee deals with are biomedical research and food, drug, and cosmetic safety, so it would make sense for a bill like this to be in front of this committee. Once a bill gets into the committee will hold hearings so they can hear testimony by different witnesses from the public and also from experts and from within the government, and you have to be invited to be a witness at those hearings.
Oh, please. Hey, said it was urgent!
He said it was urgent.
Please tell me he's okay.
What's wrong with Leslie?
All right, we have it under control now, but your Rottweiler has been humping your little dog, and vice versa. Leslie is a Les. The Rottweiler is a guy. And Bruiser is a male dog who happens to enjoy wearing pastel. Your dogs are gay.
Wow, everything about that was wrong. That this is a plot point in this film is wild to me.
Why me? Why my dog? I told Doris not to buy it in DuPont Circle, a damn homosexual puppy boutique.
What?
It's like I was saying to the Congresswoman the other day over caramel macchiatos. Is bill writing super fun or what?
Nerd alert. Have you ever read a statute before? That shit is boring.
Libby just told me the news.
Oh, she did?
Never underestimate a woman with a French manicure and a Harvard law degree.
Also, man, remember French manicures? What a world. Okay, so the hopper is a real thing. Representatives introduce bills by bringing them up to the front of the floor, and they put it in this little basket of bills, and then they are taken and sent to committee.
Man who controls a political machine.
Boy, he's good. He is really good. I'm really glad we're watching this. This is good for you.
So that's from a really excellent old film called Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, starring Jimmy Stewart. Also a fun movie if you're interested in learning more about Washington politics and watching movies about it. I've thought about watching it and doing a reaction video on here because I haven't seen it in probably like 15 years, so comment below if you want to see that.
What if I told you, Representative Croft, that you owe that special bounce in your step, the one that only comes from finding the perfect lipstick, to the pain and suffering of innocent animals? What if I was to tell you, Congresswoman Madeline Melanie Croft, that you owe your raspberry macaroon to him?
So during a hearing like this, the members of the committee will make opening statements, which can take a really long time, and then witnesses will be allowed to make their statements. They'll get in front of the committee and they'll speak for like 3 to 5 minutes, and they'll speak from a report that is already written, that's longer, that they've submitted to the committee for consideration. During that witness testimony, the rules of evidence don't really matter, so that she brought her dog into the room to kind of change the sentiment towards animal rights, I think probably would be fine, aside from any bans that the building has against bringing in animals.
My Rottweiler Les is of the homosexual orientation. There, I've said it. I'm out. My name is Stan Marks. I'm a conservative Republican NRA spokesman, and my dog is gay.
Okay, so this gay dog plot point is weird and problematic, but it's also kind of weirdly, like, sweet and benign to watch this film right now, the way that the dumpster fire of our country is functioning. It's like, ah. This is what divisiveness looked like back then. That's cute. It just kind of feels like a simpler time. Not that the issue of gay rights and acceptance of homosexuality is a simple issue, but man, things feel so much worse now.
I just don't know how you did it. I don't even mean wearing that silly hat, because I mean, that was really brave, but just trusting your country. Trusting this system.
I feel that.
Oh, we have a plan. 2 words for you. Discharge, petition.
With a couple hundred signatures, we can spring Bruiser's bill from committee straight to the House floor for a vote.
Petition to discharge H.R.2652, aka Bruiser's bill, carried with no objections.
The petition is officially filed and available for member signature.
Okay, we have 2 signatures. We have 216 to go. I'm gonna break up the country into color codes.
Let's talk about discharge petitions. So discharge petitions are a real thing, and I read that this is actually a pretty accurate depiction of how they function. So they're pretty rare, but like we see here, they're used when committees are not passing bills onto the floor in order to force a floor vote over a bill. It's kind of a last Hail Mary attempt to bypass the committee process and get the bill in front of the actual House of Representatives for a vote. You need 218 signatures to get the bill onto the floor, so that's what she's trying to get here. 218, again, is just over half of the House of Representatives, so it's the majority vote.
Intern class of 2003 on deck!
I've never been an intern on Capitol Hill, like I said, but this is kind of how it feels to be a legal intern anywhere, just like eagerly running up a set of stairs, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed about the law.
I pulled a few strings. Say Magnifique is releasing all of their test animals.
All of them?
All of them. And what's more, they have been so impressed with how you've handled yourself down here, they want you to come on board as head of their legal department. It's a very generous offer, Elle.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh my god, that outfit. This entire movie is making me feel so much better about how bad I looked in middle school. This was the standard. This is what I was working with. Yikes. Also, a first or second year attorney isn't going to be offered the head of the legal department position at a large pharmaceutical or biomedical company. It's just not going to happen.
Emmett, I know you're probably in case law class right now, but I want you to call me back when you get this.
Case law class? That's not a thing. You read case law in all your classes. You don't have a class on case laws.
Are you sure? As sure as I am that nobody looks good in paisley.
She says this while wearing probably the most heinous looking shirt that's ever been made by humans.
Calling to activate phone tree number 255. Hi Heather, it's Buffy. Hi Kiki.
Okay, so this premise is obviously a little bit absurd, but this is accurate as to how you can mobilize a movement around a bill. Mobilize a base, get them to mobilize their networks, gather together on the streets, raise the visibility of the issue, get it into the national conversation, push the representatives en masse to vote the way you want them to by just screaming in the streets about it.
Look, Elle, your work is here right now, and it's important. So I'm bringing the wedding to you. First step, get groomed to Washington.
Why is Luke Wilson's acting like so bad in this film? I said that before about Reese Witherspoon's as well. I think it must be the writing because like they're both perfectly adequate actors normally, I think.
So speak up, America. Speak up. Speak up for the home of the brave. Speak up for the land of the free gift with purchase. Speak up, America. Speak up. And remember, you are beautiful.
What was that speech even about?
This week, Congresswoman Libby Hauser finished decorating her house, sent her son off to college, and negotiated a settlement between the San Antonio labor unions and the Department of Sanitation. Snaps for Congresswoman Hauser.
Snaps. Can you even imagine that happening in today's Congress? I mean, back then it was obviously still ridiculous, but can you even imagine it today? I don't know what it was, but this movie just kind of made me really depressed about the way that the world is right now. This feels like an era when you could have like hope and excitement about politics, you know? Like maybe you could actually make a change happen. And like the biggest divisive issues were like animal rights. Things were so hopeful. Wow, this really took a turn for some dark moments for me. Man, yeah, that really threw me for a loop. Okay, well, that was fun, I guess. Thanks so much for watching. If you have another movie that you want me to watch and react to, please leave it in the comments down below. Give this video a like if you found it entertaining, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. Thank you so much. Goodbye!